Beep, 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 beep. All that's new and approved from the Chester News Us. Beware. Crazy broccoli man. That's in reference to a joke I tell about broccoli. Don't ask. Right, okay, now. Warming the old hands here. I'm on a break, so you're getting this, just to remind you that I'm live, because I've pre-done it, okay? It's Christmas Day, right? And it's like 5 in the morning. And it's quiet, and I can't hear a pin drop. I can hear a pin drop. Apart from the fact that I've got my washing on. So if you're gurgling, that's what it is, the old machine. Now, who does washing on Christmas Day? I do, okay? All right, now, thankfully, going over for lunch today with some friends in the old Peaks district, where it's, miles from nowhere, no signal, quiet, sheep. That's it. That's my Christmas Day. I can't bloody wait. And then that's it. And then I'm I just got this show and I had to do it because it's quite amusing. And I thought, well, don't feel like work. So I'm going to share this with you, I think on the 27th. So you should be getting it on the 27th, I think. But it was so interesting when I come across it. I was instantly piqued at reading the news this morning at 4:30. So here we go. Right. This is about equity. Now, you've heard me talk about this before. People sometimes struggle to get their head around the difference between equality of outcome and equality of opportunity. I've done a Substack, links in the doobries. Go and have a look at the Substack first if you want to watch the video, read the articles, and see my definition of what equity versus equality of opportunity is. You might find that interesting if you're not sure about it. And other than that, subscribe, buy me a coffee, become a warrior teacher, the usual. New cohort starting in January. We're going to be starting a second one hopefully in February or March. So I should be writing about that in the new yearage. Now, here we go. So, there's a story, right, about a classroom. And you need to get this story in order to understand the rest of it. In which the kid said to the teacher, "Here, miss, every time we have a test, it's not fair. They get high marks, these get low marks. When really it's just what we do as a team. It should be a collective, shouldn't it?" "Right," said the teacher, "that's okay, we'll do that. I'll work out what your average is, and we'll average your score and everybody get the same score. Everybody get the same outcome," said the teacher. "All right," said the kids. "La la la, how wonderful." And off they went. Friday comes along and they take the test. And everybody gets a B. The teacher's like, "That's amazing, well done, good to you all. See you next Friday." The following Friday, the end of the test, everybody gets a D. The Friday after that, everybody got an F. Right, and the reason that happens is because those that were doing well didn't bother. They just thought, what's the point? What's the point in me succeeding if everybody else is going to succeed by doing nothing? So they did nothing. And the ones that didn't try in the first place didn't try in the first place anyway. So you ended up with a situation where the kids were like, hang on a minute, this is no longer fair. I'm supposed to be up with the collective, but what about me as an individual? And they were then driven into rancor and anger by this situation. And that's communism, right? That's communism in a nutshell, or I should say, in a classroom. So, this has been unearthed from April of this year, right? And it was reported today on the 25th of December, which is what's interesting, by City Journal, links again in the Substack and in the doobries below. Well, in the Substack. So let's have a look and see, right? Get your head around this. For years, 2 administrators at Thomas Jefferson High School, shouldn't be high school, should be median school. Thomas Jefferson Median School. For science and technology. That science and technology in which we require the best to do the job. You would agree, I'm sure. They have been withholding notifications of National Merit Awards from schools' families. So they haven't been telling them, the families of the school kids, when they've received a National Merit Award for excellence. I'll say it again. They haven't been telling the parents of the children when they've received a National Merit Award for excellence. Equity. Communism. Yeah, right? Gets worse. Most of them, these kids, Asian. Gosh, that might be, critical race theory in there somewhere. They're thus denying students the right to use these awards to boost their college admission prospects and earn scholarships. They're preventing them from achieving excellence in order that everybody gets equity. That's how it works. There's no other way to do it. No other way. Remember the city picture with the people on the boxes watching the baseball? Where it said equality, and then where they go the same size box, and then equity, and they're all seeing the game, and when in fact equity's cutting the legs off most of them. Or better still, we pay like everybody else should. thieving bastards. Right, okay, so what we got here, this episode has emerged amid the school district's new strategy of equal outcomes for every student without exception. That's the strategy. Now, the video of this mad woman who's behind this is on the Substack, so you can see her. School administrators, for instance, have implemented an equitable grading policy which eliminates zeros, gives students a grade of 50% just for showing up, and assigns a cryptic code of NTI for assignments not turned in. This is a race to the bottom. It is a race to the bottom. Now, we have a parent called Shauna Yashar, who is a lawyer, and she uncovered this because her son's at the school, and he's studying statistical analysis, literature reviews, and college-level science. And he does so late into the night because he's a committed young man who wants to achieve excellence and therefore help us with science and tech build a better world, right? So this workload, which was very heavy apparently, was necessary to keep him up to speed with the advanced studies, which US News and World Report rank as America's top school. It's one of America's top schools, and they let this idiot equity communist in, right? So he then took this guy, her son, Yasher, took the PSAT, which determines whether a student qualifies as a prestigious national merit scholar. This is an award worth having. It helps you get into the best universities. When it came time to submit his college application this fall, he didn't have a national merit honour to report. But it wasn't because he hadn't earned one. The National Merit Scholarship Corporation, which is a non-profit, they'd recommended him as a commended student in the top 3% nationwide. The top 3% nationwide. That's the possibilities from this young man. The top 3 in a science and technology field. Do you know how rare these people are? Rare, right? Really rare. Now, he's one of about 50,000 students in America, lots of people in America, right, who earning that distinction. And usually it's celebrated, the National Merit and Scholars, breakfast ceremonies, YouTube videos, that kind of thing. But not at the Thomas Jefferson High School. They withheld the announcement of the award. The principal, Anne Bonitatibus, that's wonderful, Bonitatibus, Anne Bonitatibus, and the Director of Student Services, Brandon Kosatka, have been withholding this information from family and the public for years, and it's affected at least 1,200 students. 1,200 students who've achieved an award that can place them in the top 3% for potential to learn science and technology and change the world for us. What is it? What's this? Right? So eventually, the mother, Shauna Yashar, who's the lawyer, discovered this. No public announcements were made by the school. People had to discover this through the back door. There was all sorts of and they started telling each other. In September of this year, the National Merit sent a letter to Bonitatibus, including listing 240 students recognised as commended students or semi-finalists. So people that were really in the game for this particular award. The letter included these words in bold type. Bold type. Please present the letters of commendation as soon as possible, since it is the student's only notification. And the school sat on it. In order to stop them from achieving, because you cannot have that type of achievement in a world that's fully inclusive. This is pure diversity of characteristic. Yep, inclusivity in the in-group, equity, equality of outcome, murderous. National Merit hadn't included enough stamps on the package, but nevertheless it got to Bonitatibus by mid-October, before the October 31st deadline for early acceptance to select colleges. In an email, Yanibus told Yashar that she had signed the certificates within 48 hours, but homeroom teachers didn't distribute the awards until November the 14th, after the early application deadline had passed. Teachers dropped the certificates unceremoniously on the students' desks. What you have here is an entire school that is loath to provide equality of opportunity. This is what is wanted when people start talking about messing with the public sector equality duty. They want to get rid of equality of opportunity. They want equality of outcome. This is exactly what's wanted by these lunatics, these critical social justice morons. Right, so on Monday, December the 12th, after getting caught, Kosataka sent an email to the parents of commended students notifying them of the important recognition and saying, "We are deeply sorry for not sharing the news earlier." He claims school officials would contact college admission officers to correct the record. Bonitajibus still hasn't publicly recognised the students or told parents from earlier years that their students won the awards, and she hasn't yet delivered the missing certificate. The war on merit is a war on our kids. Watch the video, right? You can see one of these people that are on school boards in America. Watch the video, you'll see when she actually says it. They're not even hiding it anymore. It's not complicated. Equity, equality of outcome, is murderous. You've only got to see the word. If you see the word, call it out. That's it, call it out. If you see the word, call it out. Fucking just created it. I couldn't believe it when I read it. And you want to see the video. I'm all for equitable I mean, you know, smile and still be a villain, because that's what she bloody well is. A villain. Anybody pushing equity is a villain. It's that simple. Because that's what they want. Equality of outcome, not opportunity. Go and have a look at the Substack. I put like a table in there so you can see how that works out when it comes to teaching and stuff as well. Might be of interest to you. Other than that, I'm turkey. I'm going to be having some turkey. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Go well.